protesters just line up peacefully in front of the cops, and the cops come out and form a barricade for cars to get in and out of the driveway. And that's why it's so ridiculous for Trump to be saying like he needs to send the National Guard to stand up to the protesters, because this is not a contest of physical force. We know that they have more guns and more weapons. If it was a literal war, they're going to win. This is a protest, or when the federal agents are outside, we're peacefully assembled here and tell them what they think. And sending the National Guard is not going to change that. And most of the incidents of violence is actually 100% of the violent incidents that I've recorded with my phone or seen happening were instigated by the federal agents. It was either a little stuff like the guy would just lunge forward with his shield and push two guys to the ground that were protesting, or the video of the inflatable frog where the guy leaned over and sprayed the breathing hole for the frog costume. I filmed that back on beginning of October, and I was here the first time. There were two protesters once that are just standing and talking to the agents, and they talked for about 10 seconds, and they were saying like, "Are you actually fucking stupid?" And like, but it was legal. They were not threatening the guys. The guy just pulled his pepper spray out and blasted them both in the face, and it was on camera. And who knows what else they may have done that nobody was filming at that moment. Actually, there was a night on October 4th when they staged what looked like, they're now calling sort of a fake riot, where they had the police line push everybody one block east of here down to that corner, and then they filled the entire street with smoke and tear gas. And this whole time they had drones in the sky that were filming what they were doing, but the footage that Homeland Security has published doesn't reveal that they just did it for basically no reason. We were all just standing there, lining up, holding our signs, and then suddenly they just start pushing us. And Homeland Security is using this video and showing it like, "Oh look, we got those rioters going under control." But I have the GoPro footage for the 10 minutes leading up to that moment. We were not doing anything. They just formed a line to push us, and then their agents went across the street, and we had an "Abolish ICE" banner hanging on that sign, and they just grabbed it off the fence and took it back inside. They stole it, and as far as we know, it's still in that building, unless they threw it in a dumpster. We don't know.
Help me understand what this building is. So it is my understanding that it's not a detention center. It's not big enough, and it's not set up to be a detention center. They probably don't bring many detainees, so people arrested here. It's more like an operational building. Is that correct?
I think so. We're not clear on. I think the permit with the city says they can't detain people for a certain number of hours. I think 12 hours. It's more what the building represents. It's not. We don't think there are people detained in here. I don't think they're allowed to detain people overnight. But it's the fact that we are so appalled by what ICE is doing. Any city that has a physical building that represents ICE is going to attract attention from protesters.
What do your friends, and when you visit Portland, when you talk to your friends in Portland, do they talk about ICE activity in the city in terms of arrests, in terms of going into businesses, going into homes? What do people in Portland say in terms of ICE activity in the city?
I haven't heard as much. I mean, I heard specific incidents of people from Portland that were apprehended. I don't think it's so much about the activity just in this city. It's more about the fact that Donald Trump is pushing ICE to do this nationwide, and we are appalled and opposed by what they're doing everywhere. It's not so much about specifically what they're doing in Portland.